Queensboro Plaza.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Hello, this is the City Whisperer, and while I'm in the streets, you're in the sheets as I quietly explore the city and use the white noise and whispers to help you fall asleep. So cozy up, close your eyes, let's get started. In today's video, I'm going to take you along on a genuine New York City Monday morning commute. The video will start at the Ditmars Boulevard subway station in the neighborhood of Astoria, which is in the borough of Queens. And the video will end in the SOHO neighborhood in the borough of Manhattan. Much of the scenery in the beginning of the video will be what you see riding one of New York City's only above ground train routes. This is the NW train that starts from the Ditmars Boulevard station, is above ground all the way down 31st Street in Astoria, and heads underground after Queensboro Plaza. The train goes under the Queensboro Bridge, under the East River, Roosevelt Island, and is below ground in Manhattan. In Astoria, the names of the stops on the train are as follows and in order: Ditmars Boulevard, Astoria Boulevard, 30th Avenue, Broadway, 36th Avenue, 39th Avenue, Queensboro Plaza. The Ditmars Boulevard station is the beginning and the end of the NW train line, so you can see some MTA staff waiting to get on the next train. It is Monday morning, January 4th, 2021, at about 9 a.m. The train has just pulled out of the Ditmars Boulevard station and is heading towards the Astoria Boulevard station. There is not yet too many people on the train because this was only the first stop. At each subsequent stop, more and more people will get on until finally we reach Queensboro Plaza. At that time, many people will get off as Queensboro Plaza is a major transfer point. At Queensboro Plaza, you can transfer to the 7 train and the G train, as well as the E and M trains. Which train a person transfers to depends on whether or not you want to continue into Manhattan, continue further into Queens, or head into Brooklyn. The Astoria Boulevard station has recently gone through and is still going through renovations where they added an elevator. Here you can see the arch of the Hell's Gate Railroad Bridge in the distance, along with some colorful graffiti, which is a common sight on this route. Here's some sweet shots of the city in the distance. Astoria is a great neighborhood known for having many Greek residents, but there are also young people of all backgrounds as well as families living there. It is also known for some really great restaurants and places to eat, including Taverne Kyklades, which some say has the best seafood in all of New York City. Much like the rest of New York City and the entire United States, many businesses have closed in Queens. One of them is this Don Cookie restaurant, which in the past was bustling and booming with loud music and large crowds. quite nearly on a nightly basis. R.I.P. Don Goki. Subway ridership went down dramatically in March due to the COVID-19 pandemic, but has since steadily risen, despite there being more cases in New York City than ever before. This is in large part due to the fact that very few New Yorkers drive, so many essential workers must rely on public transportation. There are still quite a few people who work from home at the moment, so subway ridership is not to the point that it used to be pre-pandemic. A lot of buildings in Astoria are only from 1 to 6 stories high. That is because there are zoning laws that prevent them from being higher than that. You will see, though, that as we get closer to the city, particularly Queensboro Plaza, around 39th Avenue, Dutch Kills, and Long Island City, that the buildings do get taller than 6 stories high. That's because the zoning laws are different in that area. The official definition of a New York minute is how long it takes for someone to honk after a light turns green. But one could argue, and I definitely do, that you could also say a New York minute is how long it takes for the subway doors to close after the subway conductor ends their announcement. What other definitions of a New York minute can you come up with? Let me know in the comments below. Attention to the red and white striped smokestacks in the background here. It looks for a brief moment as if the clouds are the smoke coming out of them. Wasn't that cool, y'all? I totally think it was. anticipation of Amazon's headquarters being there. However, after some legislation and Amazon's ultimate choice, at least as of now, that is not where Amazon is going to put their new headquarters. This city's infrastructure never ceases to amaze me. I can't even imagine the architecture and blood, sweat, and tears that have gone into building this city's infrastructure. In particular, the bridges fascinate me. The engineering blows me away. You will have seen a moment ago another N or W train heading back into Astoria. And now you can see the train that I am currently on as it heads around the bend into Queensboro Plaza. I love that view. I think it's really cool that you're on the train, but you can see the rest of the train. I do not, however, like the screeching noise that accompanies that view. I stopped filming briefly because people were much closer to me, and I am grateful that there are masks now that people are wearing, so you don't necessarily have to blur their faces out because you can't even see them. But someone sat close enough to me that you could distinguish their features, and so I stopped. I'm sorry for the weird cut. I just wanted to show that people get on the train in droves at Queensboro Plaza because, like I said, it is a major transfer point. And I wanted to show you that even though there is a pandemic going on, many New Yorkers still need to and do ride the subway every day. I feel safe. They clean it a lot more than they did pre-pandemic, and almost everyone is wearing masks. And now begins the descent underground. ears plug up so you know that you are almost done being under the river, and all the weird fears of the train tunnel filling up with water go away. Now we are officially in Manhattan at 59th Street, Lexington Avenue. You will see in the video that many people get off at this stop, and that is because they need to transfer to the 4, 5, 6, or F trains. These stops in Manhattan on this train line are as follows: 59th Street, Lexington Avenue, 5th Avenue, 59th Street, 57th Street, 7th Avenue, 49th Street, 42nd Street, Times Square, 34th Street, Herald Square, 28th Street, 23rd Street, 14th Street, Union Square, 8th Street, NYU, and finally, where I am going to stop, Prince Street. The W train goes all the way to Whitehall at the end of Manhattan Island, but the N train continues into Brooklyn all the way to Coney Island. In between the stations, there's not much to see except for your fellow riders, and it's often quite uneventful. So I'm keeping it dark here for you for that purpose. Just enjoy the clickety-clack of the train. Relax your shoulders if you haven't already. Unclench your jaw and remove your tongue from the roof of your mouth. Yeah, that's nice. This noise definitely relaxes me. Are you relaxed yet? I certainly hope so. If you're still awake and if you're still watching, I just want to let you know that I'm very proud of everything that you accomplished today. Whether it was an easy task or a more difficult one. It breaks up the monotony of the white tiles at most of the other stations. I have had some of my best naps on subway trains. The rocking back and forth and the clickety-clack and the general white noise are very nap-inducing. After riding the train for a certain amount of time, you really begin to intuit the noises and the cues that the noises mean. Is the train almost into the station? Has it just left the station? About how many stops have you been sleeping for? You really kind of intuit when you need to wake up to get off at the stop to get to wherever you are going. Most of the time, thankfully, it's back home. Most of the time, my naps have been on the way home, not on the way to work. Maybe this video has helped you intuit the noises and the cues of the noises on the train. For example, you will notice that I kept Times Square 42nd Street black for you with no picture, but you may have heard the slowing down and the speeding up and the different clickety-clacks and the beeping of the door as it opened and the creaking of the door as it closed. I'll bet you did notice all of those things, and to that I will say, excellent job. You deserve a nap. Well, City Whisperer, if you fall asleep on the train, won't somebody steal your things? And that does happen, but in my experience, New Yorkers really look out for each other and other people on the train. So for example, if I am wide awake and I see someone sleeping, and I see that they might be about to drop their phone, or there's some money hanging out of their pocket or their purse, I just take it. Just kidding, that was a poor attempt at humor. What I actually do is keep an eye on them, and I might even nudge them awake or say something to them. And I know for a fact that people have done that for me. The one time that I should have intervened and did not was when someone had a large pizza on their lap and they proceeded to fall asleep. Before I could wake them up, the pizza had fallen off of their lap, and in the process, the box opened and the pizza fell out of the box onto the floor. Needless to say, it was a tragic moment. because I saw a full-on fist fight on the train, and the people were escorted off the train, and there was blood on the seats of the train across from me. And after all was said and done, more people got on the train, and they had no idea about what had transpired before they got on the train. But one woman saw the blood on the seat, shrugged her shoulders, and sat down in it. Was 14th Street, Union Square, and at that station you could catch the 4, 5, 6, L, N, Q, R, and W trains. It is a station that is underneath Union Square Park. Has emptied out at this point significantly. This is the stop that one might get off on if one were going to be going to New York University, NYU for short. I'm showing you here that you can look through the clear glass windows on the doors at either end of the train and see through into the other subway cars. You do want to be wary if you are one of the only ones in the car that you are in, because that means there are fewer people to watch out for you or witness things that may happen to you if you are alone in the train car. Just exercise caution. This is Prince Street. This is the street that I needed to get off to go to the thing that I was doing that day. often think of rodeos when I get off trains because when the door opens and everyone walks out, it reminds me of when the bullpens are opened and all the bulls or the bucking broncos come out and go wherever they are going to go. So now we are in the neighborhood of SOHO on Manhattan Island, and SOHO stands for South of Houston Street. It's short for that. And so we are going to walk on Prince Street. We are heading west on Prince Street, and then we are going to go to West Broadway, hang a left, and continue on until I get to where I was going that day. I am not going to show you exactly where I was going that day to preserve some of my privacy, but I hope that you enjoy the last little moments of my Monday morning commute. There is loud construction going on as they're ripping up a cobble street to fix some sewage or electrical wires, I'm not sure. And you will see scattered about the little dining areas that have popped up to accommodate outdoor dining. Although many stores have closed, there are still quite a few remaining that have just adapted and adopted to new health and safety protocols. There are still street vendors, and here is the Apple store that always has long lines, but the street is heated so that the people that are waiting in the line stay warm as they wait to get their temperatures taken and their hands sanitized before being one of the few bemasked people allowed in the store at a time. And that is a pretty common retail experience here in New York City, as I'm sure it is in other parts of the United States during this COVID-19 pandemic.
No, you know, like 2 foot by 2 foot slate.
you snoring, but then I realized it was just this truck over here to the right of me. But while we are on the subject, are you though? Are you snoring? If you are and you can hear me, turn to your side, either your right or your left, so that you can breathe better and get better sleep. Thank you. If you are still awake, I hope you took a special note of the graffiti across the street from me. A line of city bikes, just sitting there so lonely with nobody to ride them. This man takes his dog out every time I am in this neighborhood. I see him multiple times a day. It's borderline excessive, if you ask me, but please don't ask me. Fear, love, good advice. And ahead, that is One World Trade Center. That is the building that sits where the Twin Towers used to sit. 9/11. Never forget. Now you might be saying, what the heck, City Whisperer? You were just on the street and now you're on a train again. And I am here to tell you that this is the following Monday, January 11th.
This is Astoria Boulevard. Transfers available to the M60 Select Bus Service to LaGuardia Airport.
And I am commuting to the same place that I commuted to last Monday.
This is a Manhattan-bound W local train. The next stop is 30th Avenue.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
But last Monday, I was sitting on the right side of the train, the side facing west. And this Monday, I wanted to sit on the left side of the train with windows facing east so that I could show you the other side of that above ground commute. Pay attention to the subway announcements on this train.
This is 30th Avenue.
The woman's voice is giving you information, but the man's voice is giving you instructions.
This is a Manhattan-bound W local train. The next stop is Broadway.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
makes you think, doesn't it? Hopefully, your thoughts are leading to you getting very sleepy. Hopefully, your thoughts are not racing and keeping you awake.
This is Broadway. This is a Manhattan-bound W local train. The next stop is 36th Avenue.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
I recently read somewhere that there is one pigeon for every 2 New Yorkers, which means there are 4 million pigeons in this city. I don't know if I've ever told you, but I really do not like pigeons.
This is 36th Avenue. This is a Manhattan-bound W local train. The next stop is 39th Avenue.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Thank you so much for coming along with me on this commute twice. You are quite the companion. We are becoming great friends, I can tell.
This is 39th Avenue. This is a Manhattan-bound W local train. The next stop is Queensboro Plaza.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Hello everyone. When you ride the subway or bus, you must wear a mask that covers your mouth and nose for the entire trip. Please, do your part to keep New York healthy. See mta.info to learn more. Stay safe and thank you for riding with us.
transfer is available to the 7 train. This is a Manhattan-bound W local train. The next stop is Lexington Avenue, 59th Street.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Hello everyone. When you ride the subway or bus, you must wear a mask that covers your mouth and nose for your entire trip. Please, do your part to keep New York healthy. See mta.info to learn more. Stay safe, and thank you for riding with us.
This last little bit is just to show you how quickly and how often New York City changes. It had only been a week, but some new art popped up on the graffiti across the street from where I was last week. Here's a closer look. Very topical. And it looks like someone is moving out. That just means that another person will move in. And on and on and on. Thank you again so much for watching my video, and if you are still awake, I hope that you go to sleep soon. But I've had so much fun on this adventure with you, and I think we should definitely do it again sometime soon. I have something special planned for you for the next video, so stay tuned, and good night, y'all.